Hello everyone. Welcome into this I'm back, I hope, stream. Also, why is this here? There we go. Alright. Hello, and today we are guested by the wonderful MsNapalm. And that cut off, we only got a ha.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Am I still cutting?
Nope, that worked.
Okay.
And I think, there we go. We got a shout out for you as well.
Yay.
So, oh, Dana's echoing. Okay. I think this might be better. Can you try and speak, Dana?
Yeah. Hello.
Is that better? And how is the what's it called, the height difference sound wise?
Echo is still there.
Echo. That's weird. How does? Sorry.
No, because I was going to say normally I could hear myself talking. Oh, I see it now. I do hear it. Yeah. It's because of the way you have your speakers, so maybe you have to turn this. Can you turn the speakers around?
Yeah, the thing is that even when I take the sound off my speakers entirely, my mic is somehow still catching up.
It's one of those mics. My other mic did that.
I don't know why that happens or what it is, and it has the microphone housecast because I need to protect it from my electric fan. But even when I turn my speakers off for me, so I can't hear anything, I could still see the audio move on my my microphone. I just want to test something. Dana, if you speak now.
Hello, I am talking now. I am not a robot.
Can you hear her now? Just gonna wait for a reply here. Okay, so we both go on my mic, it would seem, and now I don't have any sound on my computer going through, so that means that any alerts will not catch up on OBS, apparently. But I guess we'll just have to see how that goes and see what... Yeah, so sound alerts right now is not working, but that might be the only way I can figure out how to remove the echo. So I guess we'll be doing it today without the sound alerts. I'll still get them, so I'll still be able to get shocked and spooked by them, and people won't understand why because you can't hear them, but that's how it is. Hey Skittle, welcome in. So, but yeah, hello Water and Cass and Skittle, hope everyone is good and having a good day. So this is the affiliate stream, even though apparently Twitch did a mess up, so I said that I wanted the affiliate stream to be on the 23rd, because it had to be this week, so, but apparently it set it for today, so I don't know. And enjoy the work, Skittle, and yeah, it's good to be back. It's, and we're taking a little turn on the channel, away from the chaos and into the learning thing. So as you can see here, we will be solving a problem today. So, yeah, doing somewhat alright. Just a little stressed from all this getting ready and getting back into it. You know, that anxiety of going live after a long break. So, but yeah, this is what we will be doing today. We will learn about fabric folds. And up here in the top right corner, you have Dana's can, or MsNapalm's can. Alright, but yeah, I hope everyone is good. So, let's jump right into it. Today, sorry, what?
I said I'm scared, hold me.
all the hugs. So, what I will be starting out with is talking about the tension in fabric. So, as you can see on these, we have tension points. I actually don't know if you can see where my little pointer is, so I'll just be cheeky here and come in with a little pinpoint thing. Let me get a pin. Pin. So,
yeah.
all these, that is the tension points. And obviously this is not how you will see fabric hang on clothes. Or clothes hang on people. But it's still it's a good basic for it. And you can see many of these has a pointy tension point, and then there's this one down here where we have an entire flat pane, and that does give a different kind of fold. And also I have chosen several different types of fabric here. We have a very thick one up here, a thick and hard one, so it makes big chunks. It makes a little edge around it. It's not as soft and curvy as this one, because this fabric is softer. So that's a very good way of seeing how thick is the fabric and how stiff is the fabric. And hello, Basil! Thank you and welcome in. So another way to see if you have a thick or a thin fabric is also from the distance you have between these lines. So how big is the curve you have? Well, these are very big. This is a little smaller. But down here, they are very small, very close set together. That usually indicates this is a thinner or a softer fabric. This one is also a thin fabric, but it's stiff. So again, we have the big chunks, the big places. We have the big chunks indicate that it's thick or stiff. Usually the way you can see if it's a soft thick or if it's a thin stiff is from how soft the curves are. As you can see here, there's a lot of harsh lines. Whereas this one is a lot softer in the curves. So this fabric is a softer one, and this one is a harder one. And
yeah, I feel like you can tell the stretchiness too just by looking at like how they're folding like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more stretch down in this one from the way it folds than there is in this one, and also I know what kind of fabric this is. So yeah. Cass asked if you'd like to tell us a schedule. We do basic, then see napalm, apply them, or, well, first we go over this with the tensions, then we go into more details about what is the different types of fabric. And at any point napalm wants to try something, we can go up and do a little. But I do want to go over just the basics first of what are the different kinds of fabric and how do they fold, how can we differentiate them from each other's. Then I have a section with how does fabric apply to the bust, the boobs. I have a little fun section about capes because capes are fun. Then I have and then I have up here a folder with where you can see the differences between these kinds of fabric. So it should all begin to come together. And then comes the fun part where I have a lot of pictures of clothing where we can talk about where is the tension points. How do we figure this out, and how can we show when we're drawing? How can we transfer to drawing these to show what type of fabric we're doing? And that's primarily when we will be getting into to doing some exercises as well. But Dana, you're free to draw along or paint along as we go, whatever you feel like. Oh, this might be fun to try. And if you have any questions or want help with something, just ask away.
Sure. Yeah, like I mentioned, I don't know if this is the same for everyone in chat, but I'm more of a visual learner, so like eventually I do have to do hands-on. But at this point, like when I look at a painting or a picture or something I want to do, like I stare at it first for a while, you know?
Yeah. And that's basically what we're doing here. We're looking at something and we're trying to discern together, how do we look at this fabric? How do we interpret or just what's it called, translate what we see into some knowledge that we can use. Oh, hello, Six Cycle. Thank you. Wow, 500 bits. Thank you very much. Wow. Welcome in. Thank you for visiting. We are learning about fabric folds today on this my 1-year affiliate stream. So and also the first stream back after half a year's break. So that's interesting. So but yeah, I hope that answered the question, Cass. And yeah, if anyone has any questions in chat as well, go ahead and ask. I'm not only here for Dana, but for everyone. So any questions about fabric folds and how that does, then go ahead.
Yeah, and I could also try to throw in some. Well, I mean, I'll obviously have questions, but maybe some questions people might have but might be afraid to ask.
Yeah, for
stuff
sure.
like that too.
Yep. And also, I operate from this. There are no stupid or silly or odd questions. There's just stupid, silly, and odd answers. So go ahead. You'll be the clever one, and I'll be the one putting out my sometimes lack of knowledge. But I'll be telling what I know and how I usually translate the fabrics into drawings. So so we can just do this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like learning how you view these things. It's interesting to me to see how you do it because you're so good at it.
Yeah, and I find it so much fun. But also, I do have a background as an educated seamstress, so fabric is right up my alley. So yeah, I can tell that this one is a very soft cotton or linen. This one is a little gruffer linen, but it's still natural fibers. You can see that on the edges down here. This one is a jersey of some sort. That's a stretchy material.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and this one is what's it called? The silk satin linen for meant for doing the insides of jackets and stuff. So, and the mic is going a bit in overdrive. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. And thank you, Six Psycho. Okay, let's see. How can we? Hello. Mike. Hello, does this work? Does this work? Is this better? Hello. But yeah, let's just try and take it down here with a little, because it's always up in the red no matter what I do, so I can't really figure that out. It's the same still, okay. Let's just, oh, I had a pop-up. Dana, thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I'll just try. What if we take this one off? Does that help? Did that do anything? Yeah, I just need to get it out of the red. It should be better now, I hope. Oh, thank you, Cass, as well. Cass and Dana and Six Psycho. Oh my goodness, thank you, everyone. Alright, hope things are good now. Yay. And let's, yep, my fox is catching up as well. Astress, thank you. Oh my goodness, and Crystal Crapple, thank you. Wow. Oh my goodness, people, thank you. Oh no, I started a hype train. This is my first hype train ever. Wow. Oh goodness, Six Alco. What? Thank you. Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. This is amazing. I've never had this many subscribers at once.
We're trying to motivate you to come on back to us, on a good day, not a good day.
Yeah, and hopefully things should be getting better now. I still have I haven't even said anything about what's been going on in my life, but basically everything just my health turned down, and I need to focus a lot on that and being there for my daughter instead. And I tried to get help from the government, and that has just taken a while, but finally there's a little help in it, and hopefully it should be all settled around November, December this year. So it's still hectic, but there should be more room for streaming again, so yay. And all the dancing foxes, yay. But also with so many subscribers in here, it might be time to rework the emotes at some point so people can get some of what they want, because so far it's mainly just been Dana and me, so yeah. But yeah, so I've just had up the emotes that we would use around, so but yeah, that might be for another stream. But yeah. So many
You
good.
always mix and match.
Yeah. Anyway, we were going on here. Yeah, bureaucracy is a pain, exactly, Chris. It's and also my wheelchair is broken again, so I'm still waiting for repairs because apparently it's not urgent when the battery dies. Yeah, so wait, says Cass. Where's the Equideem? I have taken off the Equideem for today because with Dana here and it's my first stream back and having to shift between the windows to find the eggs and put those on was a little too stressful for me for today. So they will return next time as well as some of the other fun ones, but I just needed to have a little softer comeback to this.
Yeah. What's up, Helgas?
Yeah, welcome in, Helgast. So yeah, there will still be chaos, and also I do have the stream stickers to make up more chaos, and including the free ones. This one. Can we just put? Yeah, there we go. The free one. I do have. I can't remember if there are more that. Yeah, there are a few that are free, and some of them is just one bit. I don't think I put them up on too expensive. Some of them are a little more expensive in bits, but yeah. Lots of chaos with stream sticker still, and all the eggs, as we can see, Cass has figured out.
And we have a hydrate too.
Yeah, we also have a hydrate, and yes, Chris, we have the Dana in Napalm is here guesting today, and we are solving her problem today because how does fabric fold, or how does
fabric?
Yeah, how do fabric? So yeah, with my background as a seamstress and many years of what's it called? Experience, that's the word. I don't have experience in talking, but I do have experience in drawing. And welcome in, Blacksby! Also sewing, both sewing and drawing. So
With your powers combined.
yeah. Oh goodness, more bits. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh. And yeah. I'm not crying. My eyes are not wet. I'm just sweating out of the corners of my eyes because it's so warm. That's it.
Yeah. You guys are so awesome.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here. And oh yeah, hydration sticker. Let's get that one up.
You guys are gonna make me have to really pee at this rate.
Yeah. And hello, caller as well. Welcome in. All right, so many people in here and so much going on, and we need to get back to a little here again.
Need to get to educating.
Yeah. So
yeah, guys, if you have any questions, Crunchy will answer them. It
yes.
doesn't matter what the question is, as long as it's, at least sort of pertains to what we're learning today.
Yes, anything related to fabric folds and clothing, just go ahead. And I'm doing all right, caller. It's a day, but yeah. And thank you for the hype train on a level 2. Oh my goodness, thank you. Wow.
Also, like the fabric folding could sort of also apply to things like, I would say, sand, or what else could we say? Like maybe some mountainous, some sort of mountains that are softer, like not the harsh ones.
Yeah, but when we're talking mountains and sand and stuff, that works on an entirely different level. That doesn't have anything to do with the tension folds or where you put the strain on fabric and how that manipulates around the body. So that might be up for another stream at some other point, because otherwise we'll never get through all this. I have a lot.
I just meant sort of like the ripples and stuff, like the shapes, I guess. Not exactly the tension points, but like how they fold.
Yeah. And yeah, the hand is talking. That's how you can tell if Dana is doing things. We actually should have given you a sock puppet. That will have to be for next time. So
I talk with my hand.
Yay! So but yeah, that was the basic of from this one, where you can see how the softness and the thin and thickness. So let's get to the next one. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take this one where we have an arm, where you can see.
No.
And I'll just. So here we have the arm, and we have a good tension spot up here. So if you have the one part tension where it's just from here, everything will go out from that point. If you have the longer tension point or a flat line, things will just kind of wrap around that in weird ways and just come on. So then it will all go along the line. Welcome in Cosmic as well. All right. And let's see. Oh, chat is going on. But yeah, we have MsNapalm up in the right corner here. So and yes, you got a sub. Yes. So and yeah, after half a year almost, I'm back at it. So yay. So but yeah. So here we have the tension point that is spread out. So we have the lines spreading out more as well. They are coming out wide and far. The further up the arm comes, the shorter this point gets, and all the fabric folds are gathering closer. They are still spreading out from that point, where we have the center tension point in here. So most folds will be coming from that. Although up here, as it gathers, because it's sliding down slowly from this, it will also gather up here. Then we can see in here we have the tension around here in between behind the arm. So everything now comes from this point. So you can have this in the back of your mind when you're moving an arm around, because this is just up and over, whereas this, it goes out in front of us. So here we have the long tension point, we have the long tension point, and behind us we have a longer tension point, so things are again spread out. And spread out. And over here, very spread out. Oh, we have, the translator doesn't know what resonation is. You seem like a competent English speaker until someone drops a word your translator doesn't know. What did I say with resonation? What did I say with that? I have already forgotten again.
Resonating is like when something is kind of, you understand it, I guess. It's like it kind of, wait, what? Thank you for the sentence below.
Oh, the sentence below? So I have no idea what you. Sorry, love. Can you Can you repeat it? And also, hey, Have, welcome in. I am back again, and this is the 1-year affiliate stream, and we have MsNapalm in as guest. Yay!
Oh. That says, is there something telling me where the tension point will be?
Ah, well, then we go and take a look at some anatomy here. Let's do that real quick. Because we have the shoulder point here. We have the arm coming up. So you can see with how much of the arm is... Actually, you can also, if you lift your own arm up, you can kind of feel where is the big plane on your shoulder. As you can see, when we have it here, we have a big long line where the tension is kind of just spread out loosely as it goes. The more you lift it up, that's where the fabric will be pulling. So we have a pull from down here. This is a tension point because that's where the fabric is tucked into the shirt or the pants. So anytime you lift something up from here, you will create a tension between these 2 points. That tension will be bigger here than it will be here, because there's nothing creating a lower tension, we only have the upper tension. So basically it's a matter of, do we have something hanging loose or do we have something that's being pulled? Yeah, where it lies, where the contact is, and also where if you bend your arm again, this is bending up here, that will create a more pointy tension point. There will be more about this later as well, where I go into more detail with it. So yeah, where a force is applied, yeah, exactly. So let's get back to the red one again here.
There's gravity.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, as we can see on the lower one, where I just mentioned, we have this long tension point that's kind of the entire arm. There's not really an intense tension point, so it's just kind of bulking up a little here and there, and it's just, yeah. You do have a, yeah, but you do have a tension point on the boot, because that is pointing outwards. So we have a few lines that will come in there. It will move around it because it's also curving. So that will always be a tension point when you have the boobs, and that will also be a thing we come in later, and also just realized it might not be a good idea to have a curl on this one, TOS. But yeah. So, but then we see this was the arm out, so there is not as much tension on the fabric here because you have loosened all of the tension with it. When you angle your arm downwards, you do get a tension point on the top of the shoulder, which leads into the armpit. And it also kind of falls down towards the arm here. Again, we have where it falls down, comes a little, because there's still a little tension on the shoulder. It's not much, but just a few of them. And I chose this shirt because it's such a thin and soft material that it makes a lot of folds. This is not most shirts. Most shirts do not fold up this much. So, so feminine reading breasts are allowed on stream now, just need to tag the stream as mature content with nudity. Yeah, but I don't want to go into that one. I do want it to just be a chill place for everyone, but also it was a mark on top of a shirt, so I hope Twitch will forgive me for that. But yeah, we have the loose tension point that's kind of all over. Arm hanging down, it gets a little more focused. Then when you bend your arm in like that, you can see right here what's happening right there. I'll just zoom in a little. Wait. That is not the best quality. Let's do it here. We have a very thick line. Everything is kind of curling up around this. This one tension point up here. You can even see down here, it's still kind of curling up towards it. It's curling and curling because we have added tension here. Because we turned the shoulder in, we pulled the arm in. That means that there's a lot more strain on the shoulder now compared to what we had over here. And even here. So the more tension you put on a thing, the more folds will appear.
They make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's but that's how you can look at it when you're looking at a reference photo. Just as you can see, there's not so many lines over here as there is on the other side. The same here, big time even, because it's this is a tension point. This is a more loose point. So that's a way to see if you have, especially with dynamic poses where you have crazy movement, how much tension is at each of these points. It's the elbow joints, it's the shoulder joints, it's the hip area. Everywhere you put on a lot of tension, you will find more and more folds depending on how much tension you have on the fabric. And let me just squish this one out, and let's go to the last one I have in this section. Because here we have it with some clothes. And if we start with the shirt here, when it's tucked in, this is also a more form-fitting. We have again tension point under the arms because you're folding in. A t-shirt pattern is, let's just see if I can just loosely graft a t-shirt pattern here. That's how the seams are put in on a t-shirt. So naturally when you put this down to be by the arm, you have a lot of extra fabric up here. So that will fold up. Also, we have on this guy, he has a very wide upper body, so his muscles are filling out the upper part, but not so much the lower part. So when you have this more shapy figures, you will often see that there are more folds around the waist than there is on the top because it's stretched out up here, where it's kind of falling a little looser here and obviously very loose over here. And thank you, Heb. Heb will do some heraldry study on your own. Ooh, that sounds good. Feel free to share. And also if anyone is drawing along or have questions or anything, just please go ahead and share and ask. And we have another hydration redeem. Good. Ham and a stretch.
Ooh, and a stretch.
Yep. Crunch. So
crunch, I get pop.
Yeah, I just have those very low. And sadly, I don't have many of these what's it called, the sources, because I have used Pinterest, where I have a fold section where I can go in and look for my reference stuff. There will be later a few. I actually have some links to go back to, but this seems to be made by Miyuli. Also this one, I have not been able to find said person, but none of this is my work, sadly. But yeah. So I have not been able to locate all of it, sadly, which is a real bummer because I would love to credit these great artists. But yeah, sadly it is what it is. I already spent a few hours on gathering all this, and I simply had to give up on finding only reference I could locate back to the source. So yeah, don't know if there was on this one. No, there wasn't. And not on these either. So yeah, so sadly it is what it is. And next time I will do a learning stream. I will make sure to put on more time so I actually have the time to go through and find with the good sources and all. But yeah. And all right, Cosmic Warrior, have a good lurk and take care. So but yeah, going back to this, even on this looser shirt, you still see there's not so much fold up on top, where it's stretched out and it's hanging where it should. Then as it goes down, there's more folds. It's coming in here where, as you can see over here, he's thinner around here because that's shoulder blade here. So it will fold up a little there, fold up from the waist as well. Small folds in the arms because these sleeves are bigger than on the other guy. And just this little one because the rump is coming out. And obviously when something comes out towards us, that can push up on the fabric a little as well. If we go to the pants section, we have just the regular standing pose where you can see all the loose pants will just kind of fold and just hang free. We have a little tension up here from some pleats. We have some tension around and gatherings in the bottom, and we just have some low gatherings folding down here. So, and welcome in, observer. I am trying. So, but when it comes to pants that are a little tighter, we have a tension point here because we have a joint here. So when you bend your legs and sit down, the fabric will fold up here. And especially with jeans and a little firmer fabric, those folds have a tendency of staying even when you stand up again. So if you have a soft fabric pant, these will not be visible when you stand. But if you have a jean or leather or something, these can be very much visible. Same again, we have a joint, we have the knees. That means we have some folding. And it can be just a little quiggle above the knee. Under the knee, there might just be a little twink in, because again, when you have something that's this tight and you bend, the fabric will be pulled up. When you then stretch your leg, it will still be pulled up a little, and gravity will pull that down under the knee. So that's usually where the fold will sit. And also there will usually be a little folding around the cuffs here below, because again, you have a joint here and you have a big angle here, or a big plane here, and you have a thin one here. So it will likely go up rather than down. That was a horrible error. So But yeah, as you can see here, when we bend, we have on the upside, if you bend up, we have the folds here that I mentioned from the above one. We have folds underneath because we have a tension point in here. When we have a lot of fabric for the first, or for first, because we gather the leg together. And every time you fold something up, there will be more fabric on the inside than on the outside. It will stretch out here, and it will gather in here, which creates folds that go from this point here and outwards. So what is that little line I did there? That's not me, okay. Well, that also indicates that we have a point here of tension because the fabric is getting stretched out. So we have some folds will go this way, but also from down below, it's curving around. We have the curve stopping here. So that's the point where you put your fold. Kind of like it's molding around this leg muscle here, and then it'll go upwards. Down here below, we have again a little from the what's it called? The back of the knee. We have a fold here that's also going. Yeah, we have this one going up. So everything here, as you see, is going upwards because we have the tension pulling from up here because this leg is being pulled up. So when that goes up, all this fabric on the inside is being pulled up. We see it here, it's pulled up. We see it scrunching together, it's being pulled up, pulled up, pulled up. And we see the same on this one, it's getting pulled upwards. It has a pull upwards, has a pull to the knee. This one is sort of going towards the knee, but also resting a little on the thigh. But as the further down you get here, the more it goes towards the knee, which you can also see on this one, that's even looser. It goes a little towards the knee, folds up a little and crinkle up here. So this is just the different types of how loose fabric will fold over over that part of the body. And again, we have this with the pleats down from below, where it gets very loose and deformed here, and you have just a few here because the leg is being pulled up and inwards. So you have this lower edge that's actually in here underneath the leg, because as you can see, we have the foot here. Now it's under the heel because there's so much fabric it will fall down. Down here you can.
I actually love those pants.
Yeah, they are amazing.
I don't think they look good on me, but I'll buy them anyway.
Yeah, I'm wearing something a little like it, not as poofy as this, but still. So, and then you can see you have the tension here because you're pulling up here and you're pulling here. So that's again like with the t-shirt, we have many folds and they are all between these 2 points. They try to reach each other. This back in online classes. Well, this is kind of an online class. And Observer is inserting Chaos, Chaos, Terrifold as background music. Oh boy. So, and yeah, then we have with all these little pleats, there's a lot of fabric in this skirt, so that folds out a little differently. Still has the tension up from up top, but it doesn't do the same folding out as the pants do. Because we don't have this gathering around the legs, it's just free to fall, and gravity will try to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also the case when we go down here. We can see that it's going this way. It's going down, but we can also see that the fabric is being pulled upwards. We can see the small tensions here. We have the leg in here. Right. Let's see if we can just get the little foot in here. There we go. That's the leg underneath. And yeah, it's kind of like water, but more complicated. Heavy water. Yeah. Water with a body. Kind of like the water we have in the chat here. Should we try and drape her? See what happens? And I'm pretty sure I will get a no very soon if water has not gone into full-on lurk. But yeah, so that was the last one in this. So now we've gone over the tension parts. So let's go into looking a little at some different fabric types. Here we have some heavy fabrics. We have leather, and I have taken a jean because those are some of the fabrics we usually see a lot in our everyday wear. I will get into something like a suit stuff later on, but right now I just found this one.
Just talk about how I want those boots, though.
Yes, they're so amazing. And I know this isn't the picture, but the rendering of these folds and the understanding the artists have of these is just so good. So that's why I took this, because as you can see, the different types of folds, it's very different from the fabric to the leather. Leather has these kind of
they're very angular.
Yeah. Even up here, you can still see it kind of has these, it has a shape to it more than it's just a fold. Even this little one down here, it's squished, it still goes around a little, which I find very fascinating, and I love drawing leather. Because it's a harder fabric, it still has these angles, especially when you have the outlines of it. It's a little bulky. It doesn't have this swift, smooth curve. It's a little more bulky. Also, you can especially see it back here, whoop, whoop, where we have a little more tension on it from the movements of the heel and just from the fabric being squished downwards. And it will still go around. It will still make those wonderful round scoops in there. And I will go into a little how to shade those later on as well. You can also see it here on the pants. Also, the way that light falls on leather is just amazing. And that is something to pay attention to if you're shading it. Hey, Psycho again! Oh my god, thank you! Thank you so much for the gifts up to Cosmic Warrior. Whoa!
Aww.
Thank you! Wow! But yeah, when shading leather, the light and the way that falls on it, especially this slightly shiny leather, is really fascinating, and that is something to pay attention to really sell leather as what it is. You can see you have the deep shadow in here, surrounded by the lights. The light going down here, a deep shadow again, whereas when you go to the jeans, it's just kind of light, shadow, and that's it. So leather can be a lot harder to shadow, but it can also look absolutely amazing. And yeah, then
I'm staring at it right now because I'm just like kind of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, studying it. Yeah. Studying it.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're looking at?
Not just yet. I mean, for the leather, I'm trying to understand like the shine versus like the not shine, since it has that like what's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at it, it can be hard to determine where the hell is the light source. Look at the butt. We have the strongest highlight here. We have the light source coming in right here, that angle. Always find a big plane. You can see it over here. We have the brightest shine here. We have it a little on top of a curve. It's coming slightly from above and from this angle over here. So you can always take a look from a plane. See, this is top of a curve because Bob's curve. This is where we have the strongest highlight. So light is from above. It's more to the right, so it's a little over the right side. And you can also see it with the legs. It's a little to the right for the middle. But not much because this is actually a pretty center. So yeah, the light source might be somewhere around here.
Oh, my sound cut off. There we go. I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. So, and then I chose to take a 3D modeled jean versus a real jean. Because while we have really good folds up here, And we have the good squiggles. We have the small squiggles over here that will automatically come when you sit down, because then you stretch the fabric. It will pull the fabric upwards. When you get up again, there will be small folds up here. And as you can see, you have the same kind of squiggles over here. Where this one gets interesting for me is around the knee area, because this to me does not read like a denim. Denim is a stiff, a thick fabric, and these very thin, very small folds that are so closely put together, that reads like a linen or a cotton, something that's thin and soft. It curves a lot, and it's just very thin. Again, here we have it curving, we have the small ones, we have extra small ones, and also we have them all over the knee. Where when you see them over here, we have a big one that sits here, so a big one that sits here, goes up there. We have a big one that comes here, big one there, and then we have the squiggles in. And it pulls a little from the inside because we have the tension going up in the crotch area, and that's just where tension will be, always coming from this area, because there's so much movement in the joint area and the hips, so there will always be some kind of tension in the crotch area. Also have a few from down here following the leg where it's curving around, where this is just kind of again furling. It does follow the seams well enough, but this just to me reads like a much thinner fabric. The top up
like
here,
a jegging.
yeah, exactly. This could be great folds for leggings or something that's a thinner material, but for a jean, this does not read. We have the thicker ones here. If I turn this one off, you can see thick and few lines where we have thin, small, and curvy. These are a little straighter, and that goes again for a thicker fabric. You have straighter, you have more edged lines. And these are simply too curvy to be a thick fabric.
Yeah.
So yeah. Chris is saying, let's all buy white leather. Yes.
Okay. I'm on board.
Yeah. And Cass said, leather is just putting another harder skin over your skin. Yeah, exactly. And it's looser, so it will crumple up more. I was saying I hate it when translations in book to German are without the article. Like, thank you for the half-assed translation, I guess. Yeah, that's not really helpful. And Cass is lurking a little. Alright. So, but yeah, we do have a general point of just having some tension up from the crotch area. That can go up a little further, because when you curve up together, you will again fold the fabric together, and when you squish it and compress it, it will get some folds, and the harder fabrics have a tendency of staying in that shape. So yeah, so that was the hard and thick. Let's go to the hard and thin. Sorry, what?
So pretty.
Yes, very pretty. So again, we have the hard ones, we have the edge, the straightness to them, we have the line there. So if you want to show that this fabric you're working with is a hard fabric that you often see in ball gowns, you see it in most pants, especially male reading pants, mask reading pants. Welcome in Toilet After Dark. Welcome. But yeah, a lot of these stiffened fabrics, they will you can get away with showing that by having the lines rougher or harder. And again, that's a lot of the time you will see this on mask reading clothes. You will see these harsher, more angular lines on it. And yeah, but of course, if you have a dress that is a femme reading, but yeah. An observer just now understood it was MsNapalm. Oh no! Yeah, we are guested from MsNapalm. Oh, thank you very much, Dana.
You're
MsNapalm gifting us up. Thank you so much. Wow. All the subs and bits today. I am so blessed. But yeah, we're back at it again. We have the harsh lines. And these pleats, I love these pleats. The way this taffeta works and folds, and I have a more detailed one on that later because that's a special way of shading, and we'll go into that later. Yeah. Oh, and another gift sub. Thank you, MsNapalm again.
I'm stopping now, though.
Oh my goodness. My heart is beating so fast. Thank you, everyone. You're so amazing. But yeah, especially here on the sleeve, we have a lot of these edges. And that's a really good way of showing, again, that we have a stiffer fabric. We have a harder fabric. The difference between these and the ones we saw before is, of course, that there is a lot more folds in this. That shows that it's thinner, because thinner fabric can curl up more than the thicker fabric will do. We have, again, where it's placed closer together. So you can have a lot of things in here. So many, and I could just sit here and line these out for hours because this is so much fun. But yeah, that's how you can see this. And again, we have it over here, and this is a beautiful drawing. But we have the harshness. We have these edges. We have eventually a curve every now and then, just to soften it up a little, because the fabric will follow curves of the body as well. But a lot of this stiffer material is just edgy. So yeah, that concludes the hard fabrics. Then if we go into the soft and thick ones, now we see a lot of the big shapes. Big shapes.
Because I wanted to, Observer, that's why. Because I do what I want.
Well, yeah, but I'm grateful, at least, even if you're not, Observer. So, but yeah, with this thick, soft fabric, we have still thick folds. We have a decent amount of them because soft fabric can fold more than hard fabric, but we have them where they are curved, they are softer. Also over here they are softer. Everything is just kind of folding a little softer. On this sweatshirt, it's just, everything is soft to show. We have a little edge here, which it can have, but most of it you will want to keep soft. So this is a really comfy sweater. That's the sweatshirt. That's the woolen knitted something, you know. That's your tweed coat, your woolen coats. They all go into this softer. So, and then if we take the soft thin, excuse you, now we have a lot. I have a lot to cover here because I love this. So, again, we have the soft thin shirt we saw before with all the tension points. Even more tension points than before. And this one just folds up so good. So here we also have, again, small folds. They are close together. And you will see that they are all round. There are, when they come to tension point like here, they get tapered in. But otherwise, everything is soft, everything is curved, everything is just, yeah, following the body. You don't have any of these rocket edges that you had in the other one. The closest we get is here, but still this has a curve. This one has a curve to it, to the end. It swoops in. So this is the typical fold type you would use on a female reading shirt. Not necessarily with this many folds in it, but again, I chose this because it has so many that it's easy to spot the tension points. So yeah, let's just go to the next one of these because we have some shirts. I wanted to also see some menswear here. The thin, soft fabric that is shirts. We do have some of these little edgy here because shirts are somewhere in between the soft and thin and the soft and hard. So you will have this. This one is a little starched as you can see from the edges. So this is on the harder side, whereas this one over here has a lot of softness to it. You can see even if it still has the edges in it, it's soft curves. So that's a lot. You can get away with a lot in these shirts. You can also see here we have the curve, we have a curve, we have a soft curve, then we have an edge. We have an edge. The more it gets scrunched together, the more it gets edgy. But when you're just having it a long plane, it's just soft, and it's soft and curvy, and so this is an in-between thing. And again, if you have a femme reading shirt, they are usually of a softer material. They will not have as many of these edges. And if you have a mask reading clothing item, it will usually be a little starched. So it's a very good way when you're creating your characters to just underline that even if you maybe have a character that's big boobs, big hip, small waist, you can still make them look masked by adding in these harsher lines to the fabric. By the choice of what you put them in, you can make them look more masked in that way. On the other hand, you can have your big mafia boss in his, whatever clothes. But if you make that soft, you will automatically soften up how he looks. His whole appearance will soften up by how you make these folds appear. So you could give him this softer shirt that's just folding in, and it's soft and it's sweet, and it has a little edge to it, but in general it has a softness to it. Whereas this one up here is a little more angular, it's a little more mask reading, so to speak, because that's how society has put things up, But this one will get him looking more like the gangster boss you want, and this one is kind of like, oh, now he's home, now he's relaxed. This is when he's off duty and he's just being there. So just by the shape language in your folds, you can tell a lot about a character's personality, and you can cheat this when you know this. So you can get a lot in from simply knowing that, okay, harsher folds makes for a harsher appearance, and the softer ones make for a softer. It's not something most people think about when they're putting folds into clothes, but it's a very good one. And also, I just love the... Oh, sorry?
No, I was saying, yeah. Like, I'm thinking just in general, like, when you're looking at anime and stuff, and, like, how the characters, well, one, carry themselves, but also, like, how the clothes just lie on them. And it's got a lot to do with, like, their stance and stuff, too.
Yeah.
But it gives them, just their clothes gives them a personality that you could kind of tell how they are.
Yeah, and also when we're talking anime and cartoons, there's a lot going on with the general shape language. Villains have a lot of triangles in their designs. The soft motherly figures or fatherly figures have a lot of circles, and the heroes are very boxy. So you can tell a lot just by hiding these shapes into your characters. So yeah. So that's a fun one, but that mainly goes for cartoons and stuff, not so much for reality, because that's a different way, or realism, that's a different way of designing your characters, because you have to abide to the rules and stuff. The rules of real life. But yeah, and also I just love the whole softness of these pants. So this is a little thicker fabric, you can see on the thickness of the folds, but it's a soft one. And just this contrast between this and this harsher shirt, it's so much fun to play with this contrast when you're designing something. You can really get because if you had more like a leather pants, so we could have these more harsher. He would get an entirely different look from him.
You get like super villain at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That would take him from a normal man over to, oh, this guy's evil. This guy is edgy. He's not one I want to get close to. But just by softening up the pants, there you go. Now he's a friend. He's a little edgy, but he's a friend.
He's your hot friend.
Yeah, exactly. He's that hot friend, and the hotness also comes in because when you fold it up here, when you fold up the sleeves, that's hot. Apparently, I don't get why, but it is. So
I'm agreeing.
I don't get why, I don't see it, but that's the the aromantic asexual part of me that just doesn't see it. So but if you want a guy to appear hotter, push up the sleeves. And especially if you fold up the lower part and then push up the rest. If you fold up entirely, you have this good guy hotness. If you just fold the cuff and then just push it up, that's a bad guy. That's a bad guy right there. We need those edges because when you fold it all the way up, you get the soft curves, you get the soft edges. When you push it up, you scrunch it together and you get all these rugged lines, and that's why you have the bad guy. Or the edgy guy, the troublemaker.
The one on a motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So there's the guy that folds up his sleeves. That's the guy you want to present to your mom, and this is the guy you want to go on a wild weekend ride with. You know. So yeah. Let's just remove these lines and take the next one. Here we have these folds that I was talking about before. And just how simple it is. And this would actually be a good one to take for a start. As what's it called? The paint along thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the loop folds, they are very common and we have seen them several times. And this is also the same type of shading you would use for leather. Where you have the light coming in different places. You have the shadows being really, yeah. You can really see them there. Just kind of getting in some shadows and where your folds will be, and if anyone in chat wants to draw along, please do so. You are more than welcome. Now that we understand a little more of what we're seeing.
I might have wanted to thin this out. Thin out my paint because it's like. That's alright. We don't need to be perfect.
Nah, it's just a little study thing we're doing here, so But has it been understandable thus far, what I've been going on about?
Having difficulty controlling this brush, though. I've never used it before.
Oh.
So it's like...
But both to you and to chat, has it been understandable this far? What I've been ranting about?
Well, I forked this one up, but I'm gonna fix it because we could do that in paint.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Dana?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You've just been hyper-focusing then. All good.
No, because I was agreeing that, like, I understand it so far.
Ah, okay.
Just, I can't, I should have, like, loosened up my paint a little bit.
Yeah, just didn't catch up then, I guess.
Yeah. We'll just come back over it.
Yeah.
So we don't have to make a sun, so.
What is wrong with this blender thing? It's there. There we go.
It doesn't want to blend, it's like...
Yeah, it had the opacity set a little weird, so that's it.
Okay, well this one I officially messed up, so I should just move on from that one.
Yeah, no stress. And I'm not sure if it's Mexicloth cloth art, but it's something for sure. But you have plenty of options to go with and just have fun. You can really go to town with these fabric folds. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just in general, there's a lot to do with these. I think I'll just pull up the leather one below if I can. There we go. Hello, leather.
Hello, leather.
Yeah, I'll just have a little fun with that one as well, just while we're at it. So, but yeah. But I hope people are enjoying a little more educational in the stream instead of just the regular art that I've done. Been in a little of an art funk lately, so yeah. And this was originally what I wanted to do with streaming, so I just kind of chickened out on it a lot. So yeah, there's that. Oh, we have another hydration. Thank you for that, Chris.
Gonna make me have to pee.
Yeah, I forget to drink, so I'm very happy for these redeems. It's they're very helpful. I have lost track of what I'm doing.
Yeah, you and me both. Like, I forgot which part I'm looking at to do my fold, so I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever one comes up next.
Yeah, exactly. And you can make it up. It's so good. That's the fun part about this. You can kind of just make it up, just understanding enough to get the basic of why does it do the things they do. That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Why do we do the things we do?
Yeah. How does fold? How does fabric? How does fold fabric? Fold fabric, how do? I don't know. I'm just here. Also, Little Fox was very upset that I streamed this late because she wanted in on it. And it's just, yeah, I'm going to be teaching a lot, so it's you just got off school and summer vacation. Are you sure you want to go to school right now? Just, yeah, it's my mom teaching, so I want to be there and I want to create chaos. And just, yeah, you gotta go to bed, girl.
You know what? We're just gonna be talking about, like, mortgages and healthcare.
Yeah. So yeah, but it was her last day at school this day, so that's crazy. Now she's done in 3rd grade, so she's not amongst the small kids anymore. Now she's going up to the middle range of things, and it's who allowed to get big, you know? She's so big suddenly, my little girl. So but yeah. So there was greetings to everyone in chat from her at least, but she had to go to bed. I have no idea if this.
Even though it's the first day.
Yeah, but it's 11:30 p.m. now, so
Sure.
yeah. And she will be coming out here tomorrow, so I can just teach her privately if she wants to anyway. So I doubt she would be sitting down and drawing fabric with us anyway. So now I'm running into that problem that you can't really see what it is, but if I had it in context, so I had an entire pair of pants, you should be able to tell what this is, I hope. But it kind of looked. Oh no! Now I saw a face in it. Now I have to draw it while we wait.
Yeah, I'm kind of at this point where I'm just, like, messing with it.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, what I could get. Which is the nice thing about oil, because, like, I could easily change this from, like, a soft fabric to, like, a hard fabric, you know?
Yep. It's looking good so far. But yeah, I really did the mistake of seeing a face in this instead. So now I'm just doodling that. Oh no.
That's the angry sock puppet that he's mad because we forgot him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just happened because I just want to take a little sneak peek here at what you're doing, just pulling that up in big for a moment. Whoop. Let's have a look. Looking
Right
very
now
good.
I'm messing around a little bit because this is the one that like I messed up on both of them. But I was like, there's I could come back from this.
Yeah. Yeah, it reads like fabric, so that's good.
My first instinct should have been to like thin them out in the first place to get the coverage, but yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. Very good folds. And there are so many different types of folds as well, so I'll just turn this one down and see if I can just, while you're working there, do a few other types of folds.
Well, this one is should be. I feel better about I'm like having a conversation with my folds, like I don't like what you're doing.
Yeah, could you not? Could you not do that right now? But yeah, in general, just studying different types of folds and just working on how and also materials. How does this work? How does this one fold? Where does the shadow fall in this one? And just having this basic understanding now that this folds up in this sharp edge because this fabric is hard, and this has big chunks in it because it's a thick fabric, and that helps a lot when you're working on designing a character and figuring out how to do. At least it does for me. I hope it will for you as well, and everyone in chat. I hope this is helpful. Yeah, I do plan. Sorry?
I said, I mean, I'm having fun,
Yay.
And, like I don't really sit here and like look at fabric, so it's different for me, it's like a different breed of painting to me.
Yeah.
Not look, and that's one thing that I said I wanted to look at more closely, but
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because there are some folds.
We need more brushes.
But I do plan on making more educational, so if anyone has something they want to learn within character creation or anatomy or anything, just let me know and I'll put that on the list.
Didn't Cass have one?
Yeah, Cass has a few, and I think Skittle was talking facial anatomy in general and hands. I have been doing some hand lessons before on Discord, but yeah. Just in general, if there's something you struggle with and want to learn more about, and even if you don't have any concrete questions, just something you want to practice or have my take on, feel free to ask.
You know, it's what I would like to, because I know everybody wants to learn hands.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying I'm a master of. I would love to learn like legs, I guess, in general.
Legs are hard. Legs are hard. because it's not just up and down, you know. But your face and hands are hard. Feet are hard as well. But in general, there's just a lot to anatomy that's, yeah, it's not easy. But observing what, do you have anything in particular with the face that is a struggle to you? I've recently been learning a lot about the mouths because, oh my goodness, lips are hard to make. All of the body, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of anatomy to work on.
Anatomy, why are you so hard?
Yep. Don't know why we were created to be like that, but yeah, fabric folds are one of my favorites. Just doodling around with and just having fun with and sketching it up where I want what to be. It's fun. So I'm glad this is what you wanted to do today because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, my goal was to always, like, practice for still lives because before I started painting, I was like, still lives suck, they're so boring, you know.
Yeah.
And then like as I get to see them, I'm like, oh, this is interesting, you know. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? Did I just say this was interesting?
Yeah, you can learn a lot from still life. It can be really boring, but you can also learn a lot from it. It all depends on if you go in with the, oh, I'm just painting this thing I see, blah. But if you're going into it with just looking at what you're seeing and learning and trying to figure out why does it do the thing it does, then it's a lot more interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah, like I like looking at the relationships of the shadows and like the reflected light.
Yep. And just learning and getting that gradual understanding of why does it do the things it does. It is great. And Chris is getting all snuggly in chat. Yay.
Aw.
Just gonna move this to the side.
I know my ADHD is kicking in a little bit right now, so I'm like trying to pull myself back.
What is going on?
I'm just jumping around. Instead of like focusing on what I'm doing, I'm kind of making things up instead.
Yeah, but that's also a great way of learning, and it still reads. So when you're done with this one, I think we'll try and move along. Or actually, I could show you this one because look at this. Look at this thin fabric in motion. I love it. Just gonna move these over to the side here instead. Then I can just fangirl over this one a little because it is so good. And this is a 3D render, which is the most amazing part of it. Just someone that has really understood the curve of learning and observing what they see. So where we have our tension spots on the joints again. Hello? What happened here? Why can't I draw? Hello? Oh, I have a blender on. Never mind me. Never mind me.
I think everyone in here that has touched digital art can relate to that.
Yeah. And we have X being slapped up again. Oh, and also I just realized I still have your screen up in big here, so they actually haven't been able to see what I have been doodling.
No.
And here we are.
So much better.
Here we are. I have done some little folds over here, and then this is the jacket I'm fangirling over. Now that it's no longer covered, I'm sorry about that. Please call me out next time. And I will take a hydration. Thank you, water. Some good water. So, but yeah, this jacket is just really good. where we have the dynamic running pose with the wind catching up because it's open. So the wind catching up blows it out, so you get a big fold, even if it's thin fabric. But you also have an edge here where it swoops down. You have the wind inside the hood, making it full and round, but you have all these small, very, very thin folds, just showing exactly how thin this fabric is. And again, they are soft and they are curvy, so this is a soft fabric. Have the tension point on the elbow and everything is going up. And it's just, yeah. And also just the motion we have with the strings up here. I love this one so much. Just a little detail as this flap over here and here from the zipper.
I can't even imagine how long it took to like put in all of those folds. Maybe it's really easy. I don't know. 3D art astounds me.
Yeah. Yeah, it can have been easy if it's someone that knows what they're doing and is trained in it. So, then we have the tension point on the chest, so everything is just kind of coming from the chest. Also, we have the wind pulling back on it. We have all the wind in here, so you will actually have a big tension point from here because we have the wind pulling on it, and that's a very unique situation to be in because we have the jacket gathering in the bottom, so we have the wind inside it that will create new tension points, and we have followed them all beautifully.
Yeah, actually, I'm just trying to copy that poof back there.
Yeah, it's such a great poof. We have the softness up in the hood, and the hood is coming softly over the shoulder, and we have a little, because jackets are often stiffened a little in the shoulders, so they will do this poof up on the shoulder seam. I have something that shows it better later. But yeah, in general, just going up there and pushing it in, and we have some. Oh, I just love this jacket so much. It's so well done.
If Blux Spy is in here, we gotta get on the couch to impress you with his folds.
Oh, I've seen some of Blux's folds. Yeah, good.
I know. He spends so much time like getting things perfect, and I'm just like astounded because I mean, maybe depending on what it is, I might have the patience to do it, but
yeah, I very much get that. Also, can I make my
well, you're a perfectionist too.
Yep. I'm just noodling around a little with the cam scene if I can get a little more, Dana. Can we get the cam a little bigger without it taking up too much of the canvas? Yes, we can. I just need to do the frame here a little bit. Can I just scoot that? Scoot. Can I please be allowed to scoot it? Wait. And now we're just moving this as well. Yeah, I'm just noodling around with stream setup right now. Ah, what am I doing?
Oh. I'm just noodling around with sketching with paint.
Oi.
Sketch with paint.
Yeah. So can I just go up here? Is that how it... If I put it here and then put it over...
Should have made this more round, but
yeah, there we go.
Whatever, we needed it.
I think this reads.
We made it a B.
Yeah.
Now it's a B.
It's looking good. I'm just...
You.
Now that I'm
I
at
made
it...
my...
See everyone.
No, I made my... I made my middle value too dark, actually, so it's like I have to... I'm mixing it as I go now.
Yeah. But you have a really good poof in there. See, when you're done with this one, I think it'll be time to move on to the next one, because I do have some more. We have the bust adjustment, the capes, and the differences between them. Actually, we should probably have gone over the differences before doing this, but I think I've talked a lot about it as well. So.
All right, we could go now.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep messing with it, and then it'll end up being like fully rendered at some point. So.
All right, let's go to the differences. So this first one, and again, I love this artist Mioli. I will just, should I try one last time to see if I can find Mioli, because they are such a good artist. Mioli art tips, maybe. Oh yeah, there's a Kickstarter actually to their art tips collection book. Do they have an actual place? Mioli on Twitter. I think I found Mioli. Yes, I found Mioli. Oh my goodness. There we go. People, if you are not following Mioli on Twitter, please do. There are so many good art tips from this artist. So many good things. And I just found their own. Oh, now I'm finding all the things. And I cannot hype this artist enough, so this is their personal page. And I also found their Instagram, which I will go and follow. I don't know why I didn't find that before, but because I have been searching, I might have just been so stressed out. Yeah.
They have a Kickstarter for a book, like full of stuff like that?
Yes. Observer knows Mioli. So yeah, if you want to learn more, Mioli is a great teacher. Please go and look there, because there is so much good. But yeah, again, going back to this one, we have the soft, thick material, where you have the bigger shapes, you have the softness of the curves around it. You have the hard but thin material that's going quite close to each other. It's going a little more rigid. And you have the soft, thin material that's going closer, but it's have all these soft curves to it. So, yes. Oh, they have 2 books already. Oh, I will have to put that on my wish list, because I love this artist, and I have learned so much from them. So, and yeah, over here we have the thick material that's stiff. So when it's a thick material, you don't have as many of the folds. When it's stiff, you have them where they're a little more edgy. The thin material that's stiff, you have, again, the edgy things. And Mioli actually does categorize a shirt as a thin, stiff material. So yeah. Oh, they have a not safe for work account as well. Yeah, well, don't want to share that in here, but it's good to know they have that. And that will also be something to go and research on. And again, a sweater here, we have the thick, soft material, we have a thin, soft, just to see the difference between how does the folds line up. Absolutely love this artist, and their tips are just so spot on, so good. But this is where we can begin to see everything coming together. I've been rambling about for this last 1.5 hours. So yeah, and then we have pants. And we have the suit and the sweater difference. Again, Mioli over here. With the shoulder that is padded. When it's padded, you don't get the tension in there, because obviously you have it stiffened and pulled out. So it moves a lot firmer. So
yeah,
that
the shoulder pad kind of sticks out.
Yeah.
That way or something.
Yeah, so that way the sleeve will move a lot faster, or a lot more, because that's the more moldable fabric. And with the sweater here, you have the tension coming from under the arm, then the tension comes here, because you have the stretch from down the waist, and you have the stretch from up here now. So that is where that will be going. So, and then I just found this of the butts. We have a rounder butt, and we have a squarer butt, and how that affects jeans, or pants in general, but in this particular jeans, because that way you can see it fills it out. On the rounder butt, and you have again the tension mark in the tension spot in the crotch. Have a few folds in the sides, and then again in the back of the knee. Typically with femme reading, pants, they sit a little tighter than mask reading pants, and mask reading will sag a little more. Again, you have very firm lines here where it will fall. Again, mostly from the crotch, but also it will be sagging more, and when you don't have the butt to fill it out, you might have some folds on top of it. You have the crease in here with that's how the muscle sits, kind of like a butterfly. So when you're softer in here, you don't fill it out on the outside here, you might get these folds. So, and also usually you will be flatter up top, so that can also be a fold up here. On some, that's especially mask reading people that are not very, doesn't have that much fat on them. This will just kind of sag down even more. So sometimes instead of having the seam actually up here, it will be all the way down here. And you'll just have so many weird shapes and just, yeah, it looks horrible. But on some people, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I've seen that even like on women's pants, like they sag a little back there.
Yeah.
If they don't have a fuller behind.
Yeah, exactly. So that's also something to take into consideration when you're drawing, because you can't really see if you have the straight back view as you have here. How do you tell if this is a big round butt or if it's a thin, flat, squared one? That's by the fabric folds. That's how you put them up. That's how many folds you put, where you put them, how you put that tension to it. And also, I love this fold with you have the curve of the pocket showing the shape of the butt here is fuller, where it's sagging more here because there's not so much to push it out and upwards. You still, as always, have the lining of the pants is always going upwards in the middle because your spine is curving outwards towards us. So straight back, you will always find it curving upwards in the middle. And downwards in the front because your stomach is pushing it down. So, yeah. Then I have this one because I know, MsNapalm, you mentioned studying folds from statues.
Yes.
So we have the very, very, very thin fabric here, as you can see on the amount of folds and how close they are. You can see that this, these are falling freely over the form. You have the tension point that is showing in where the lines come. You also have a hidden tension point underneath here, where this is draping around from. Up here we have, again, it's falling down, it's falling around, you can see it's curving. Really, really amazing work. But yeah, all these tiny, tiny folds, and so many of them, they're so close together. You can just almost see how thin this fabric is, because if it was thick, it would not be able to do this. Then we can see as well that it lifts off the body. It's falling around the body, whereas this is clinging to the body. And this one is also clinging to the body, especially up here in the torso. You can see it's almost just one with the skin. And that,
yeah, it just looks wet.
Yes, exactly. These two are wet, because that's when folds will begin to do that. That's when it's wet, otherwise it will sit out more. So when fabric is wet, the creases become sharper, they become weird because you can't really see the tension point anymore. There's a little here, but it doesn't make sense. There should be a tension point right there. It's simply been molded and pushed around on the body because of the water. So when you're doing something that's wet, you can indicate this by actually moving the tension points to something that does not entirely make sense. You can still kind of get a sense, oh yeah, this is right, like you have it on the hip here, or the waist. You have it folding down here over the crotch. You have it folding in between the legs, so it kind of makes sense. But also some of these just doesn't really, again, the way it folds over the breast here is just, that's not how fabric would fold. So you can sell the wetness by just fine-tuning that a little. And the same, you have it here, why this fold go down here. There's not much reason for that actually, because everything else is going in there. It's simply because it's wet. So just having those small out of place things that just, wait, this doesn't look like falling fabric entirely. That's how you can indicate wet. And again, here we have the thigh bulging out, and the fabric is pulled over that, so it's pulled taut, so not so many stretches. Here it's going in between the legs, so it's free floating here, and that stretch from it's going from clinging to the leg until free floating, you will have a lot of creases. So that's how you can tell the shape is what it is. Oh, and another hydration. I will do that. Thank you, Helgast. But yeah, just studying thin material from sculptors, that is amazing. You can get so many things from that, even if it's stone. That's the most incredible thing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. That was our differences. Then we have the bust adjustments. Hello? That was not the right one. This was where we wanted to be. So we have for almost none, little, and the big. How that affects a sweater, where you don't really have a tension point per se, but you know it needs to move up around the bust. So you don't have so much of a curve on it, but just to indicate, you have this small soft here, small soft up here, and in the shadow you can see that's you've gone in more with the softer shadow and the softer shadow here than actual folds. Where you go on the other one, you have a fold, you have a fold, you have a fold. Everything is kind of pulling upwards towards the chest, and you have the softer shadows as well. And then the big one, you don't really see that much, because here we actually have stretched the fabric out so much that it's just, I would maybe be so bold as to just put in a few stretch marks in here, because this is a lot of stretch we put in. There's a little fabric folds down here underneath where it's slimming in, so the fabric will be kind of folding up, because this is a very slim sweater. You can see when it's still fitting on the waist, it will be pulled out a lot on the boob. So it would fold here on the slimmest part because it will be pulled up from the hip.
Oh, yeah.
Here you can see on the shirt is folding very loosely. You have a few small ones here to just indicate it going upward, indicate going downward. On regular you have a little more where it's going that way. This one's going up. You have the fold up here. You have the shadow. And again, this is, it's a lady, it's a femme reading. So we have the softness, and with a shirt, when you can't get that softness in the lines of your folds, you can indicate it instead with the shadows. So big shapes of shadow and light can also indicate folds without you having to make the actual lines. And that's also a good way to get some softness in to what you're doing. Then we have the big one, and here you can see what I was talking about before with these stretchy. Have a small one under the bust, you have in here, you have here. Just under the bust it's folding again because that's where the fabric is being pulled and pushed up. Have a soft one up here because that's also would be a tension point because you have so much pushing out here. I would say that when you're having something that's open like this, you would actually get the gaps as well, because you would get this push, or this pull, it's called, from both sides. Just need a smaller one. So you will get these openings, which would mean you have a button here. Then you have a tension point that would create folds. If I can, I'll just make it over here and bigger instead because it's too small to really see. We have the buttons, and that is kind of opening up because it's getting pulled so much. So you would get sort of like that instead. Just having this pull out, because you can't really put that much into a fabric that doesn't stretch without it being pulled apart. And when you have this pull in the middle of the boob, that means that the fabric is being pulled against the strain, so you would have the gaps in the shirt by then. And yeah, this down below, they haven't really put any folds in it, but they have still shown with the shadow how you can round it out to make a bigger bust. Go more across for a middle and just barely there for not so much bust. I hope that makes sense.
Is it really handy for the middle ones? I love that I'm pointing at my screen.
Yeah.
You know, the middle rows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where most people lie, or somewhere in between those, the big and the middle here. And also, I would like to note that we have this curve here that's going this way. And then we have gravity coming in, because heavy boobs are heavy. They fall down. They fall, people. They don't sit. They don't do... If these boobs were to do what these are doing, just don't, please. That just looks weird. Boobs don't do that. Gravity is a thing. Boobs are like water balloons. They, if you hang them up here where they're kind of put on the body, they will fall down. They will fall down.
They're like balls for the chest.
Exactly. Which also means when you bend forward, they won't stay in this shape. Gravity will take them. The heavier they are, the more gravity will take them. So yeah. And that was the bust. Let's go to cape. Because this is where we can really play with the tension points. As you can see in this one over here, we have another tension point on the shoulder that's going, everything is going swoosh from there. This one we have on both sides, so everything is just kind of squishing up. A bigger one where we have the broad tension point, so it's just kind of swooshing over. Here we don't really have so much tension points. I would say there was a little up here because there's a lot of fabric. But yeah, just generally a lot. And I should be able to look this guy up, or this person. So dailyliana.tumblr.com. Does this work? There's nothing here. Well, maybe I can just Daily Liana. Liana Daily, I found on Instagram. That might be the same artist. I will just look it up. Nope. That is a seamstress, but oh my goodness, some good folds in here to study from. So I'll just link it anyway, because if you need something to study folds from, great seamstress, doing a lot of fancy things with a lot of fun folds. So yeah, that's a thing.
Nice.
Yes. Just trying to see if I can find some art here. Liliana, is this you? Is this you? Oh, this is an artist for sure. Not sure if it's the right artist, but trying to see if I can find anything like it. Not really, no. So I don't know if this is the artist, so yeah, sadly it's another case of can't really find. And this over here is from some Japanese Baidu.com shop thing. I don't know exactly, I can't read what it says, so another case of Pinterest handing me things. Also want to go back to the red one. But yeah, here with the... Oh, hey, Bloxby. I love close folds. They are amazing, Bloxby. Love them. They are so much fun, and you can just tell so much about a person. Again, the confidence in this guy, just, I fling my arm out, and just a cape going around, going swoosh. And also these in here just doesn't really make any sense. You have a little from the hand that doesn't make sense, but just having this general idea about it. And you do the sculpty ones, yeah, well, it's still good. They're fun. And once you understand them and you can try to freehand them, it gets a lot more fun. So, yay. But yeah, also with the hand up here that's gripping, we have all the tension building up, we have it coming out, we have it coming in, it's just everywhere. Have it here coming from the shoulders, going up, going down, we have the grip, coming out, coming in, and this one down here, we're pulling it up, you have a hand in here that's pulling up the fabric, and it's just flopping out, and you have the wind going. I'm not even sure where the hell to start with this, or what even makes sense. But as it says down here, you have everything coming up towards this point. So everything is just swoosh. And I love it so much. It's so much fun. But you have the confidence in this guy, and this over here is a little more, he's a little more flaunt, a little more arrogant, because you have all this fabric that's just, he's more of a show guy. And you can show that just by the amounts of fold and the way you drape it around them. Have the more quiet, just, yeah, I'm here, I'm down to earth, I'm good. And then just, yeah, I'm here, I'm okay with myself, I'm just showing off my goods. It's okay, just come along, we'll be fine. So just showing the personality through the way your cape is, that's so much fun. And I did that on a piece of mine, actually a commission. I just tried to pull that up because I had a lot of fun with that one. And I was working with a cape on that, and it was just a blast to work with. Let's see if I can find it. Reading and talking at the same time is hard.
Words are hard.
Yep. Did I put it in a commission thing instead? I might have done. Yeah, I put it in here. Okay. Let's see. Let's take him in here. Oop. Come on. Open. There we go. So it's very dark right now, so I'll just brighten it up so you can really see what I've been doing with this. There we go. That should do it. So again, he has the confidence, so I take the fabric out and let it fill more. Thank you, blocks. We have this extra design going around here, but I have all these folds just swooping around, and you can see he has a lot of fabric that's not even swooping out fully. But I wanted to show that this guy has he has enough power, he has enough wealth that he can afford this much fabric. He can afford to just pull this crazy long thing on his back. There's also the draping on the, I'll just zoom in a little because this is 10% size. We have the draping up here. I had so much fun doing that as well. We have a little draping in the shoulder region here because we have a tension point here with the metal coming up, and we have the tension point in the arm, so things are going in that way. We have some tension going here just because it's a little folded, it's a little loose on him. Thank you, guys. We have the tension folds from the crotch area going down. We have the tension folds in the gloves, which are not leather. Tension folds here. We have the folds here, and there's not really any tension here. This is just draped around and has an even tension all around, so the folds will get very even in size. And yeah, this is so dark down here because of the a lot of the details got lost when I made it this dark, so even if I played with contrast now, it's not really reading so well. But the same here, I have taken the fabric and just pulled it out so the tension is even all over, so there's not really that much difference in the thickness of the folds, they're just overlapping. Here you can see a little more. I might even have put these two close together. Should have been more loosely like down here. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. Let's see if I can make it dark again. Hello? I can't. Well, I'll just not save it then. But yeah, capes are fun to play around with, and they can add a lot to a character and say a lot about their personality, so that might also be worth taking into consideration when you're doing a character design. And
Well,
now...
we complimented your folds before, Blocks. Were you paying attention?
Yeah, we love your folds, Blocks. Even if you hate doing them, they're still good.
Yeah.
But yeah, now comes the fun one.
What?
What? We like them. We like your folds.
Oh, you can... because I'm running out of steam. Also, I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah, we have also been learning for 2 hours now, so and in a game with a lot of boom. Like we just Napalm said that we've been talking about your folds and how good they are. So if you hadn't been listening, but let's get into the last part of it then. The pictures. All the pictures where we can find all the tension folds. Yes, your folds. You hate drawing them, but we love to see them. But yeah, we have a lot again. Spot the tension. We have the tension point right here. We have a tension point here. We have a tension point there. We have a tension point here. Have a tension point here, here, there. Just all these tension points. There are so many of them. And I like to do this. Just sit down with some of these pictures and just find out where are these tensions. And that's a great way of learning how to do it. And you can see here there's a little of that pull on the fabric with the... and she's not even that big, but she's pulling back her shoulder, so it's still pulling on it. So, but yeah, these are the things I would sit down and study from. And just trying to go in, because first of all, where's the tension folds? Then figure out what kind of material is this? Because this is not the same material as this or this. So just sitting down and trying to figure out, is this a thin, is it a thick, is it a soft, is it a hard? Just doing a study based on that. We have all these small lines in this one, really indicating that this is a thin fabric. We have the harshness, we have the curves here. So I would say this is not an entirely soft, but not really firm fabric either. It's somewhere in between because you have a little of both. Kind of like we have with the shirt, but the shirt is a little stiffer because we have a little more of these edges on it. Still a relatively soft shirt. You can see there's a lot of the softness in the curves. These pants, we have the big folds in it. It doesn't get the many small ones, so this is a thicker fabric. It's a stiffer fabric. You still have the curves that are both harsh, but you also have the curved ones, so it's a mid-range of how harsh it is, or hard it is, but a thicker one for sure. This one, thicker one. Again, we have the bigger ones. We have the little harsher here. So this is a stiff sweatshirt thing. As stiff as that fabric comes, it's a little more thick in it, so thickness can also give this kind of folds. Where this one is a little softer, we have, or a little thinner, more folds. They sit closer, they are a little rounder than up here, though this is still considered round to me at least. This one over here, very thin, very soft, floofy fabric. There's just, even these are just curvy all over the place. This has a little more edge to it. Also just, this is a very common fold on pants. Just line it up so it's easier to see. Now they're very loose up here, so, but yeah. Because you have the shoe pushing up, so when they are long on the back, the shoe will be pushing it up. When the fabric is a little stiffer, it will be pushed up to make this fold around where you bend most, as you can see here as well. Goes up there. You have a fold in here because that's where the movement dictates there will be a fold. Goes down. Whoop. So you will always find folds at the feet of your pants. You can see them here. We have them here. Whoop. Even with this lovely squat, he still has them. You can see them on this guy, going all the way up to the knee because we have extreme tension on that, but they will still fold a little. Also a thing to pay attention to when you're standing up, long, when you're sitting down, the fabric is pulled up, it's scrunching together, so the leg will, or the pant leg will no longer reach the shoe, the floor. It will be pulled up. if this guy's pants were this height when he stands, they would likely be up here when he sits. The same happens when you stretch your arm out, have it hanging or lift it up. The sleeve length will differentiate. The sleeve is made with the shortest length on the downside of the arm, so the more you raise your arm, the shorter the sleeve will get. And I'll just move my things here because next one. Look at all these good folds.
Ooh, swoopy.
Yes, very swoopy. We have the big, chunky, soft, thick fabric here and the thin, harsh fabric here. This contrast is just amazing and I love it. We have very swoopy. We have still the tension points, so things are going up there. Things are going here because we have a point where the seams are gathering. So this will go that way. We have all these things from the hip where the fabric is draped around to go to the front. All the way around. So much fun, so much going on this one, and I love it. You have also the lower leg coming out here. Have a hint of where the bend is. And from the back, it's just kind of softly falling in. So this is a very soft satin. I would say it's a satin silk mix, where this might be a taffeta with some silk in it. That's just the nerd in me going out. And then we have this guy over here. You have a tension point. You have a lot of fabric gathering up here because he has his heel all the way up. All this fabric is just gathered up here and it can hardly be contained because there's so much fabric. And everything is scooted up. We have the tension point from under the butt stretching out this place, meaning that the underside does not have so many folds. You can see the side seam is coming here, coming down in folds, and then from the side seam and up, because of how pants are sewn, there will be folds only from the side seam and up, not side seam and down. And I do have more, I have some fun poses where this is even more visible. We have the same up here. Arm is really scrunched up. We have all the folds coming in here. So many folds. Can't even be here for all the folds. Pushing up again on there. And Chris is lurking. Enjoy the lurk and a hydration from Cass. Yes, Chris, grab that blanket and lurk. Yeah. So yeah, that was and also just this wonderful fold up here, just how blocky it is, and just
I'm absolutely in love with that chunky sweater.
yeah, it's so good. And you have the side the shoulder seams all the way down here, so you really get it out here. Oh, I love this shape. It's so good. We have these. We got to the suit. We got to the suits. And a pair of leather pants. Where we have, actually, this is a thin leather, and we can tell that because there are many of these small folds. Usually, when you have a thin leather, it's a fake leather. So, fake leather pants, still looking good. A thin fabric matched up with a thick fabric where you have the bigger folds. It creates a great contrast in it, and it tells a lot about personality. Whereas if you have this guy, he's very collected. He has the same fabric going on. And also you can see here the pants are going up way hard because they have the right length when he stands. And now he sit. So let go, or let pants go up. You have the folds up here. You have the folds that go around here towards the knee where we have the tension. You have the folds coming out here around the arm where we have it. You have the shoulder going up because this is padded. You can even see where the shoulder pad is. So everything is just scrunching up as we've seen before. You have a fold going on here. We have those from the bottom because he's pulling, he's twisting a little in his seat. We have a fabric fold up here as well. Just that's not often seen, I feel, but that's worth paying attention to. So very gathered, where this is more relaxed. You have this little edgy because we do have the leather, and leather in itself usually goes to a more edgy character. But then you soften him up with this chunky sweater. And that can make for some really fun designs. So when you create your character, think about what kind of personality they have and how you can address that in the way they dress, in the way you choose to put fabric on them.
Also important to note, just on a side note, the two button suit, only the top one is button.
Yes. And that is also...
That's how you wear a suit.
Yeah, that is how you wear the suit. So this is a guy that knows how to dress. He's a business guy. He has it all together. This guy also has suit pants on. He has the same, but he's paired it up with the sneakers. He's paired it up with a loose wind jacket that he's pushed up a little just to get that little hotness on him. He does have the shirt, but he has it open and no tie. So it's a variant of...
Jacket over his shirt?
Yeah, he's put a wind jacket over his shirt. That's a statement for sure. And I found that fun because that's a little quirky. You wouldn't normally put this kind of wind jacket, training jacket over your suit shirt and suit pants.
Casual outfit.
Exactly. So that's a little quirky guy, and I like him. And also just pairing him up with the purple background also adds to this quirkiness. It takes the attention to him in a different way. So that's a way you can get the colors into it as well. So 3 very different guys here, all with many lovely folds and all following, again, the tension points and the rules of how thick the folds are for what type of fabric. So, and now for the really fun one. Let's get dynamic. Because this is where we really see the tension. This guy in particular was the first I found because you can really see the tension straining on the inside seam. You can see he's doing this a lot. He's been sitting a lot. This is just... And you can tell this guy is an office guy because he's sitting. He's been sitting on a chair that's been pushing on this part. It's been pushing on this part. He has the folds here that's also been strained. This guy is an office guy for sure. Not just because he's wearing a sort of suit, but you can see it from where the tear is on the fabric. You can also see that he's crunching up here, so we have a lot of folds up here in his shirt, all coming up towards the arm because that's being pulled out, so that's another tension point. It's folding up. He's also doing the sexy man sleeve. Has his jacket up. Just this fun, casual way of doing it. Have the tension points up here. Have the tension coming in here. We have the folding around here because he has very long pants and they just kind of fold up. You have all the folds coming from in here because that's a tension point. Even from down here, they go up. The seam is being pulled at more, which means that from both sides, this will go upwards towards that seam. And I can see I have a whisper. Oh, thank you, Observer. I got for the not safe for work before we talked about, so thank you for that. And back to this one, we have this guy over here, also a lot of good folds. This fold over here, I find happens a lot on training pants, where you have this a little softer fabric that's a little thicker. You still have the folds down here at the crotch area where you have a tension, but the fabric kind of seems to be pushed upwards and just fold around the top of the hip instead. Have where her knee is hitting, that's actually pushing on the shirt as well, so that's pulling up. So that's also going upwards towards that knee, which is a fun little detail I found. Again, we have the butt is you're stretching out the seam, so everything goes towards the seam, but the butt is filling it out, so it only goes so far. We have it here, it comes in. Comes in here, we have it folding up. Have it very foldy here because everything is just crunched up. She's bending, so you have a lot more folds up here where the bend is. And though you do have the folds here as well, they are not so many, and especially not outside here. They are mostly in and closing in on where she's bending. We have this guy over here. Oh, sorry?
No, Cass left you a note.
Oh. intense teaching them, and I remember taking short breaks when you feel like it. Yeah, I kind of go into hyper focus. So if I need to take a break and it's too much, please let me know, because I can go on like this for hours. So yeah. Also, I just realized a small detail, because again, tension point here, because we have the seams coming around. So this seam will be pulled at as well, leaving small seams here, or small folds here. Just a minor detail as well, to just really show the strain on how tight these pants are and how much they're pulled at.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, and at some point this fabric will break. It already shows sign of breaking right here. I can tell that. I've seen it too many times. So, this guy, he's twisting. Whenever there's a twist, there's a new tension point. We have a long tension point going around. This is a thin, soft fabric. It goes to around here. As you can see, everything is just curled up, because we have it being pushed up, so it's being scrunched up. At the same time, everything is leading towards that. We have from the back, because of the movement in him, it hasn't caught up yet, so it's also folding from the back. Folding here, we have the pants are just folding everywhere, making room for a little bulge, and then just folding in around. Everything is just folding on this guy, and it's so much fun to see. We have the tension point on the shoulder being on the downside of it, because he's pushing it down so much. And also, can we just look at that hand, because that's funny. But yeah, everything about this guy is just...
Like he's made of noodles.
Yeah, he's a noodle guy. But yeah, he's really going in there. So, I just found him to be a lot of fun. Moving down, we have this guy. Also, again, a lot of stretch. His pants are looser. I wanted some loose pants as well. So we have a good tension from the knee, from above the upper side. And that's when you bend each direction here, you will have the tension point also coming from the top of the thigh and the knee. So it will go a little around here, and then it will come down. Again, make room for the bulge. Just move it around a little. You have the knee tension again. We have it here. This is folded up a little. All the dancing emotes, yes.
Felt like I needed to add those together.
Yeah. Just a lot of, again, coming from up here, going down. Everything is kind of moving with that flow. And also that's kind of the way he's going. So that also you can also use the fabric folds and the way you angle a knee, for example, to get extra movement into your pose. Because all these folds also adds movement. This guy is kind of just standing still. He's not got that much movement. She's got a little movement, but she's also mainly standing still. But this guy is just, he's all over the place. You have all the folds down here. So many folds. And the same with this guy, where you can see the wind is just kind of, from the movement, is pushing it down. So you get this ankle point here. And it comes a little down from the front. It comes a little from here, because it hasn't really pushed itself in yet, because there's so much movement going on. Have the little more wavy things, because it's really moving in the wind. Then we have the tension point in here where the seams meet, going out and up top, going down here and out. And I can't even see where this, oh, the foot is down here. Okay. So it's actually swooping around his ankle like this. Beautiful angle. That was not a beautiful angle from me, though. Yeah, just going on. We have the seam here again, so that's where they come out from. Seam up there, that's where they come from, because that's where the tension lies. We have him stretching this side, folding this side, so more folds on this side than on this one. And this last guy, just because he's upside down, that means that gravity, that's why I chose this one, because we needed gravity in here. So we still have it going this way, but you will see that it's longer from the top and it's getting shorter here, because gravity is pushing it down, so it will be scrunching down more here, where if you had the other way around, as we've seen on all the others, they kind of make this swoop instead. So when you have the leg, you have it Let's just make it
so
plain.
it's moving down. It's like in the
Yeah.
process of moving down.
Yeah, exactly. And I know this this handstand is not something you can hold for long, so he is just up, just standing still. He hasn't been up here long enough yet for this pant to fall down. If he stays up here, this pant will slide down further. So you can actually tell from how long or how much this is scrunched together and how much is falling down, how long he's been up here. So, but yeah, again, knee is the point. Going here, going around, hiccups. We have, again, with the crotch seam, everything coming down here. Coming from the inside this time because that's where the tension lies. Fabric is falling down because there's no tension point on the underside. It's all being just rested up here. Again, this fall goes to the seam, not longer. Coming down, falling down here. So yeah, that's fabric folds for you. So I actually managed to plan this out. So I had about 2 hours of of showcasing and teaching. So that's better than last time I tried to teach something.
Why? What happened last time?
After 3.5 hours, I wasn't even halfway. So yeah. But now I just want to see if I can find a pose for this guy. Because then we can try and close him. Let's see, let's take this one. Let's put you here. That's also a fun thing I like to do with these posing dolls. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to move. Hello? I want to move your hand. Yeah. Gonna call this good enough in a moment. Yeah, good enough. Oh, we should maybe just make him a little bigger so we can really see what we're doing. There we go. Let's put him in some clothes. And I don't know if you want to draw along, Dana, just having a basic sketch of a figure and then just putting clothes on it. It can be a stick figure even, just having that basic shape underneath to move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking at first though, and then pick up.
All good. So, what are we going to put on him? Also, that thigh is a little jarring to me.
The what?
The thigh. Because yes, it will go down, but not that much. It will squish, but that's a little too much. Let me just move this here a little, and then don't squash yourself. He would not be able to. Let's just put him up in a more crotch friendly position, I'd say. And no tensions.
Hip bone there and everything.
Yeah, and there's some other things there as well that would prevent that kind of motion. So let's just put him here in this lovely position. Yeah, let's just have him like this. And then stop eating your fingers. Sniff them. Sniff them. Sniff your fingers. There. That's better. Alright, so what are we going to put him in? Anyone has any ideas or wishes to see something?
I'm waiting to see if people have ideas.
Yes. Come on, chat. What should we put this guy in? And I am fully ready to put him in a frilly ball gown if that's what people say. I will put him in whatever. And while we wait, I can just do a quick one with frills because they are so much fun.
Because why not frills?
Yes! So the basic just hemline of them is just, you just do a squiggly. Whoop, squiggly. Then you just kind of connect it. Whoop.
Alright, I think Chat's a little worn out.
Yeah. Chat is just gone into heavy lurk. So, what do you say?
I would say button down, long sleeve shirt, like for work, and jeans.
Okay, so we're putting him in a shirt and jeans. All right. So, button up or button down, you said?
Button up.
Button up. Okay. We start up with just the collar. We have this little fold here. I've actually put him up too high here, but that's okay.
He starched it a lot. We'll just say he starched it.
Yeah, it's all the way up in his neck. Actually, I will just pull it down a little because there.
Yeah.
There, that's more like it. I have a very thick brush, so that's why also. Then we have a flat plane where it's just lying, but then he's kind of squishing in a little, and actually he's pretty stiff. I'll just loosen him up a little, just to get a little more fun in it for us as well. Come here. There we go. Slouch, my boy. Where did your hand go? It lost it. He lost his hand to slouching. That'll happen. Alright, there we go. Now he's slouching a little more, so now we can really get in here, because he will be bending a little here, going down here, bending a lot here. And let's put his pants here. And because of the angle, it go up here. And just going over the edge here. So let's just get this in. This comes out here. Take this out there and this one there. And let's just get a few buttons on him as well. That one would not go there. Would be on the underside. This would be in here. Be up here.
Okay, watching you draw is really relaxing for me.
I'm glad. Yeah, it's been a little rough drawing lately, so it's nice just sketching a little. Yeah. Let's just get a little of that body shape in here. And his arm is up, so there will be some tension up here, so that will probably be showing down here. Gravity will take his shirt down and just let's just get a few folds in there. Then it will fold upwards towards the seam, because we do have the tension there. Let's just get some good, because here he has really what's it called, really bend up the arm, so we will have a lot of the folds, as we've seen earlier. And with so many folds, the cuff will come down a little, because it will be pulled down. I just like having this out here on the edge. I sort of always do that when I'm there we go. And all the dancing foxes in the chat. Yay! They dance for attention. They dance for fun. And in the future they might dance with pom-poms, because I kind of want to make one that's cheering instead, and just, I feel that's more my vibe, just going, you can do this, and just hype it up instead. So I might do that.
A stretch, actually, because I feel like you haven't stretched in a while.
Oh no, I don't. I don't stretch. But also I do have my back brace on, so I'm not shrimping so much today, so that's
okay.
So then we have this collarbone up here, so we will actually get this fold that we saw before as well. Get a soft fold in here. Oh, we got a different dance as well. Nice. Everyone, how much can you dance? Show off your dance moves. Your Twitch dance moves.
I got some crazy like emotes from someone who DJs. Let me see if I could find them real quick.
Yeah.
Here we go. These guys.
I'm just.
This is a lot of life.
I'm just thinking, how much do I have that's dancing? Really not that much. Also, for some reason, it has reset my frequently used, so now I just have random Twitch emotes I don't use at all. Rude.
Yeah.
So, but I do have these.
Mine
Yeah. But can I just tone him down a little? There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, it happens. It's just annoying. Alright. Do it a little here. Put him on the shoulder. Fold it up there. Giving him a little shape. Whoop.
Oh, I should have said we could have. Well, I'm not going to say it now. I was going to say we should do the cool guy sleeves, but not now.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but let's just.
Yeah, we said full sleeves, so.
Go, that's the shirt. So I just want to clean up this because this is a mess. Can we just clean him up a little? We didn't even go for a wipe we wanted him to have, but I guess it's business casual.
You know, he's in a Zoom meeting where he has to have the nice shirt, but like the lazy pants, you know?
Yeah, and he's just about to sneeze, and that's why he's sniffing his fingers. He's just turning away from the Zoom and just, yeah, I need to sneeze. Okay, so I'll just put this on a layer for itself, but I just... La 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 la. If it is a Zoom meeting, let's make it a Zoom meeting.
His boxers. I love it.
There we go, Zoom meeting. Anyway.
Little hearts on them.
Yeah.
Cat says, I thought he's raising his hand to his mouth because he's thinking. That's something I do.
Yeah, same here. It's more that if he's in a Zoom meeting, then the screen should be over here, I guess. So he's just turning away from the screen. That's why, oh, he might be sneezing because he's kind of pushing on his nose. He's sniffing his fingers. So, you know, it might be. But yeah, you said jeans, so let's get him in some jeans.
Or he could be actually holding something he's going to eat or drink. Very tiny espresso cup, maybe.
Yep.
Now I'm overthinking it.
Now he's just ready to do that face-off thing. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Sorry, I can't help myself. Sometimes it just goes too crazy. Let's give oh boy something to numb on here. Because now you said it and now I can't help myself.
Cass says, for a second, that just looked like a Yu-Gi-Oh character drawing a card and looking at it dramatically.
It could be.
I pull mine. Who was my dragon? Yu-Gi! I don't think I could ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh without the English translate, like without the English dub, because they're just so overdramatic in the English dub.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. What is he eating? He is eating a He's just holding his mouth. He's just chewing. He's got this big. He's just got the bulge because he's really chewing here. Nom, nom, nom.
He's shoving food in his face during his Zoom meeting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's doing. That's the vibe. Okay, let's get the button in here. So here we have the straps on. We have the, well, that goes all the way out here to the side seam. Too much of the seamstress coming in here. Actually, that's if we're talking a pair of regular jeans, this is too close because jeans is a harder fabric.
Thicker, yeah.
Nope. Also, I'm really trying not to turn the canvas. Yeah.
Getting a general feel for it, you know.
Yeah.
Where like the foldies go.
Yep. And he's sitting down, so we have a stretch here, so there would not be stretches up that way around under the butt, as there would if he was standing. Have a few over here. Just we have them. Oh yeah, is it tight or loose? I just realized now I'm just drawing them tight.
Yeah, we can leave them tight. That's fine.
Okay. All the way down, or do they flare out, or what do we do here?
We'll do like a boot cut, so slightly flared at the bottom, like the tiniest bit.
All right. And they do get a little looser here. So like that?
Yeah.
Now that looks weird. I have a tendency to either put this one on or that one, but it can't really have both of them because then it just looks weird.
Yeah, basically goes straight from there.
It will flare in a little because it will just take a little of the shape here because it's being pulled forward, because that's how the stiffer fabric will do. It will try to move forward, but then gravity will pull it, so it will do this little trying to follow the leg, but then it's falling down here because it's heavier down here, so that's why it will push it down. And yeah, it's a little weird thing it does sometimes.
Makes sense though.
Yep.
Unless they were like bell bottoms, in which case, you know, that it might be less noticeable.
Yeah, exactly. It would still do a little, as we also saw on the, let me just find it. That was in the tension part, wasn't it? This. Hello? No, not you. This one. You can see here, it will flare in a little. Will flare a little here. We'll do a little of it, so, but yeah. Yeah. Come here. And then knees are squares, knees are not round. And then because it's coming up here, we have a tension point here, so that's gonna fold the fabric in. Fabric folding down again. Oh, too long. Because he has the leg bend. That's where it will come in, I believe. And more dancing foxes! Yay!
They're so cute.
I'm really glad. Also, I have been working on, as you know, but chat might not know, I have been working on another Fox animation that may or may not at some point come up on the stream and just sit and exist here and tumble around, but I just need to finish it first, and it's taking a little while.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of frames.
Yeah, it really is a big one. So the side seam, we have the movement from the side seam out, and because he's stretching the underside, none on the underside, just on the upper side. Whoop. Let's just put. He'll just have socks on because I don't want to draw. What's it called? Shoes.
We have. Not to change the subject, but I just noticed I have a really good person that we could raid.
Yeah.
Who also would be doing things like fabric and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Anyone I might know?
Yeah, you might have seen her around. Your Face is Pretty.
Oh.
She does a web comic.
Yeah.
So she's always drawing, especially with like the 3D models and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's just make him a little fun here. Look.
No, he's an elf.
Yep.
give him little double horns.
Little double horns, the tiny ones or the
little one. No baby. No. Aww. He's a little imp taking a break off work, yeah.
Let's just give him a nose as well. Just this little imp nose.
How cute.
I'm not used to drawing this zoomed out.
I'm not gonna say let's give him like hoof feet or anything though.
I mean, we could, but I'll just draw socks on him. So
yeah. Well, I actually thought like the barefoot was cute. You know, like...
Yeah, but I don't want to draw toes, especially not on Twitch. People are weird with feet. So.
Yeah.
He's just gonna sit here numb. Let him numb in peace. What do we do for hair? Okay, I'm just going to take a new layer here because let's just see what we can do. If we just give him a weird scruffy look.
He just woke up.
Yeah, woke up late for the Zoom meeting, just grabbing something to eat, and then off we go in. And that hair looks horrible, so let's not do that. What do we do with his hair? Sir, what is your hair? Okay, let's just try this. Let's try it. We give him a side part here. A little swoop down here. And we make it going like this.
Quickly, you could think of hairstyles, and I'm just like, I don't know, ponytail.
Let's see how this looks. Ta-da! He's sitting in the air. We can give him a ponytail too. Why not?
I mean, that looks so cool, and that took you like almost no time. But I mean, you also you have the knowledge and the
yeah.
You know, background in it, but still, I mean, like, it's incredible.
Let's just put him in a chair.
He's not floating like that other guy in the orange. What was it? The orange background that he was just floating.
Yeah. Let's just put him here in a comfy chair. Actually, if I lower this one a little, then he can just rest his arm up here. Thank you, Liquefy.
Oh, I could use that chair right now.
Go, and then we just need to make sure the legs are all down to length. And last leg would be here. There we go. Oh, he's numbing. So yeah.
He's too cool for us. He doesn't even want to look at us.
He's numbing. He is numbing. Actually, because of the tension moving upwards, I might just, on the right layer even, move these up a little just to get this flow going a little better. There we go. Yeah, I think that's our guy. And a little more space for his arms here.
I like how you had the fabric like tuck in under his leg where he's crossing it. You know, that's like, because if it was me, I would have just drawn it like a regular pant leg. You know.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I haven't even done it very good. I think I need to just rework this area a little now that I don't have the figure underneath. Just see what I can. Nope. Might it just be actually that it just takes. Yeah, I think it's actually just like that one. Okay, I think I have it now. And I'm just gonna squish it. So just bend it down to come around.
Cass loves the tiny imp horn.
Yeah.
And says ponytails are cool.
Yeah, they are. It's just. There we go. Kind of want to give him an earring here. Also, this ear is very empty. Now I'm just fleshing him out. Never mind me. There we go. So
yeah,
yeah.
you're gonna have, in 2 minutes, you're gonna have a full background story for it.
Yeah, I'll leave that to Chad. If Chad wants to find a full background story for him, then. But we could just do this because when you want your. You know. Oh, I'm so bad at drawing these in the right perspective.
Don't look at me.
There we go.
Magic.
Sometimes you just gotta twist it a little.
Well, it's true. You probably would have rotated the canvas if you were doing it on your own.
Yep.
What do you guys think? You learn anything?
I sure hope so.
And, well, now I'm going to like do more studies on fabric.
Yeah. Did we solve your problem with fabrics? Do you have a better understanding of them now?
I have a better understanding. I would be lying if I said I wasn't still like anxious about like approaching them. But you know, I understand better now how to look at them. Like, and that was my issue. Like, because when you look at fabric and you look at all these folds, you're like, oh my god, there's so many folds. Like, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
But when you understand why the folds do what they do, you're also not like confined by following those folds exactly.
Yeah.
It just kind of like give the indications of like where the folds would be, and they don't have to be exactly the same as what you're looking at, as long as it flows kind of in the same way.
Yeah. And knowing how with the thickness and how many and stuff, that just gives this really good basic knowledge on how can I fake this, how can I make this read. Because he's very flat on his stomach, I just realized, but you didn't really realize that, but now that I noticed it, I did. So there's some form of the shape in him that I'm lacking some of the three-dimensionality in it. But yeah, I'm just seeing more and more of the small mistakes here now. But yeah, it is what it is. It was a quick sketch, so
just taking the model and throwing some quick clothes on him.
Yeah, and it's a fun thing to do. Also, you can have this up. You can have any of these. That's not this one. You can have any one of these and say, oh, I want to do this outfit, for example. How would that fit with my knowledge on how these lines go? How would they fit on this figure? We know that they fold very thinly, very finely when she bends. Here he bends. Oh, so here we could put in the lines. He's bending here. Here we can put the lines. If we want these pants, oh, we have the big chunky fold that's up top actually, then we should probably put this fold up top. We have a lot of baggy folds from the seam and out, then we should probably have that too. We have this chunky underside, oh, then we should probably add that in as well. So that's also a way to do a study, that you just kind of study the type of fabric folds and just the type of an outfit. How would that logically conform to another pose? That is a really good way of getting better at your folds and getting better at fabric and clothing in general. Just giving you this idea of, and also it gets you out of this where you're just copying what you see. It forces you into a better understanding of what are you dealing with and how do I make this read.
Right, yeah. And that's what I'm thinking too, like, because I have fabrics around and I could just like drape them over things and like have a light source and kind of use that as a way of, I mean, they have patterns.
Yeah.
You don't have to acknowledge the patterns, just pay attention to the soft shape if I put it on something soft or if it bends, like I have a lot of ideas for that now. So
yeah, exactly. Also now I just realized I put him on a chair that's bending, so I need to put him so he looks like he's on the chair. I'm just continuing here. There we go, but yeah. Yep.
We could give him a love seat.
Yeah, it's like kind of just want to push him down a little here so we can just see the top of his head, because that's bothering me, just the top of his head out of frame.
Yes, sweetie.
It's all good?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, also he is very much on the side of this. He really just got up, grabbed something to eat, threw himself on the chair a little to the side of it, because we do have it here. So he's kind of more or less only with one butt cheek, but if it works.
He's just sitting down now while he's eating,
Yeah.
Sort of. It's in motion.
Yeah. There we go. That's a little better. Now he's almost on the chair. And I just keep finding things now because
I know, you're such a perfectionist.
Yeah. Yep.
Not that it's a bad thing, but even for a sketch, you're being like a perfectionist,
Yeah, I struggle with sketching. So but yeah. I think this is what we're getting today. So I can feel now after 3 hours of intense hyper focus on folds, I might need just getting up, stretching, getting something to eat in a little. So yeah, might be time to do the right thing. Just gonna see if I can figure out how to. Where did I go? What did I do now? Oh no.
Oh, did you click on yourself by accident?
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, that happens. But yeah, you had someone to raid?
I'll type in the full name for you.
Thank you. And meanwhile, chat, thank you for coming. It's good to be back, and I hope I'll be streaming it will be a little in just not regular, just a little chaotic here in the beginning until I get my life back under control. But yeah, but it's good to be back at least. So
I think either way, people would be happy to see you.
yeah, I hope so.
Like if you randomly decide I'm gonna stream right now, I'm sure people would definitely be like, "I'm coming."
Yeah. So but yeah, I do have more educational stuff planned. And if I run out of things to do, I might just go in how to use a game like Sims to make a background for your drawings and how to place your figures inside that. So yeah, so that might also be a thing to come if I'm just one day not really knowing what to do. But yeah, there's a lot of facial features to go with, and there's a lot of anatomy and just in general a lot of things for character creation that yeah. And I kind of need to brush up on it as well, and that's a very good way of doing it while just researching all this for teaching. So yeah, but I hope
I know. Well, you did a lot for the sources.
Yeah,
like, you made sure you got every angle covered.
Yes. Also, now I realize there was this one I wanted to give you because this is also a good one. It's just also with the compressing, the compressing, the stretching, the twisting, the 1-point tension, 2-point tension, liner tension, and just a lot of things in this one. Just sums it up really good. And then I wanted to show you this one because, oh my goodness, this art. Just look at this. Just look at this.
Oh my god. It's like fashion school.
This is fashion drawing indeed. Yeah. And that is from this page. It is just absolutely wonderful, and just all of these small folds, and you have all the ruffles that we didn't even get into really covering today, but I love this, and it's so much fun to sit and do, and just this looseness, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we ever want to continue with this, or something, or if you want to do, like, just a draw along or something,
yeah,
we can, like, practice with you, you know?
Yeah.
It works.
But yeah, in general, just ruffles. We have the waterfall ruffle, we have the soft flange, we have the smocking, we have the just the regular on a curve, we have the cascade, we have the bias ruffle, that's the name of it. And just this ruching from pulling a string up, and oh, it's so good. And the crystal plates, and there's so many things.
The one with the lots of buttons. That's something like I would definitely wear.
This one with the gathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just mwah, I love it, and it's so much fun to draw, and it can give so much character to the person you're drawing as well. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just keep going here.
No, you did a lot, and it's awesome. You put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, it took me a few hours to gather it in, but most of the time I was just struggling to find the right sources because, oh my god, Pinterest has a lot of good things, but it's really not good at listing what been doing. Also, I just realized I have not been showing it at all because I have had I put you up again. Whoops. I will just put it in once again, people. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even notice that either.
No.
You didn't do that for that long, though.
No. I closed it down. Oh no. I will try and find it. I will try and get it again because it's so good. I will try and get it. I will get
it. Keep making little hand puppets.
Yep. There we go. And let's try this again. Now I have it directly in there, so it has the photobugger thing on it. I had found a version before without it. But this is what we were talking about with all the bias ruffle cut here, and the cascade, and the gathers, and the smocking, and waterfall ruffle, crystal pleats, just all of this. It's so well done. But yeah. Yeah, I need to pay attention when I put up, I wasn't doing anything on my screen, so I just put up yours because I saw you were painting, so just to have something to look at, you know?
I was trying to see, I'm trying to figure out how to work this if I want to continue doing, like, the black and white folds, but I think the truth is I needed to put the white down first before I did anything, so.
Yeah, all good. And if you want to, when you're done, feel free to upload your a picture of your paintings in the Discord.
Yeah.
I
would have spent a lot more time on that, you know.
Yeah, but it's just quick studies. And it goes for everyone else. If you're working on the fabric folds and you want to just show off or have any advice on it, please let me know in the Discord. And yeah. And then I think it is actually time now, at last, to do the raid, because now I've been rambling on, I don't know how long, I guess another 10 minutes or something like that, so
Yeah, and I'm just realizing I was so hyper-focused on, like, trying to organize things with you today that I forgot to eat, so.
Oh no!
Yeah. I must get food.
Yes, now to see if I can remember. Yes, I could remember my raid calls. There we go! I actually have raid calls! Woohoo! So yeah, but thank you all for coming. It's been good to come back. That's not the command. I need to remember how to do this. No, that's not it. Is this it? Is this how I raid? Yes, I figured it out. Thank you for coming, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this more educational go on the stream. I know it's pretty far from what the chaos I usually do, but I hope it's been good, and feel free to give me some feedback in the Discord on private or wherever if you feel up for it. And yeah, I hope everyone will take care of themselves, be kind to yourselves, remember to hydrate in this heat, and stay awesome until I will see you next time. And thank you so much to MsNapalm for coming in.
Thank you for having me and teaching me.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Let's just get one last shout out here.
Right? That's the hard part, it's the practice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you for coming, everyone, and you in particular, MsNapalm, and thank you for all the gift subs and all the bits, and just I'm blown away for your kindness, and thank you for the very warm welcome back. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
I mean, so many people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there were so many. So, but yeah, see you next time, everyone. Stay awesome.
Bye.